Virgin, where each and every week my friends Alan and Adam recount Bible stories from their childhoods to me. I've never heard them before. My name is Nick.
I'm Alan.
And I'm Adam. That was some weird energy. Sorry. And I'm Adam.
All right. So do you remember?
But was it that BDE?
No, definitely not. That was some SDE. Wow. I don't know why I couldn't.
This is a killer start.
Woo!
So Adam, a few episodes ago, this is going to be vague. We did a very important Bible figure, maybe David.
Okay.
And was it Titans of the Bible?
Yes.
Titans of the Old Testament.
Thank you.
Wow.
Doing another one of those today.
Oh, yeah. This totally fits. He is. We probably should have done it with Joshua, too. Although,
no.
Fuck Joshua.
Yeah, no. This is much better. Much
He's not
better
a Titan.
story.
He's a warlord of the Old Testament.
War criminal?
War criminal of the Old Testament.
And also a spooky Halloween episode. Is that right?
Pre-spooky Halloween episode.
This is the prequel to Halloween.
Yeah. This is one of two, and two will be spooky as hell.
So excited.
Spooky is a word. So today we're covering the birth and adolescence of Moses.
And I mean, it creeps into adulthood, I believe.
Sure, he gets married. Nick, what do you know about Moses?
I think anything I know about Moses is old Moses, not adolescent Moses, but I could be wrong because I picture Moses as apparently all Bible characters, old and bearded.
Most people picture Charlton Heston because of the Ten Commandments.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I know stone tablets, commandments.
Yeah, this is way before that.
Parting a sea.
Close to that.
He had a staff, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he gets the staff in this today's episode.
Cool.
To be fair, though, staffs were a thing. Like, staffs were like the cell phones of the biblical era. Everybody had one. Some were better than others.
Sure.
Well, especially if you dealt with sheep.
Yeah.
Staves? I don't know.
Staves, I feel like that's a specific weapon.
Okay.
It was a bow staff.
Yeah, like Little
Is that
John.
what it's called?
Yeah.
So Egypt shit, right?
Yeah, we're in Egypt.
Okay.
That's for sure.
This whole time, this whole thing, nope, except for the very end. Most of it.
And plagues.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, that's enough. So do you remember towards the end of the Joseph part 2, when we were talking about the Hyksos?
Yes. Hyksos goes good on everything.
The potential invaders from Asia who ruled Egypt, which is why they might have been more open to fellow, people from who are not Egyptian.
Yes.
Like why a slave was all of a sudden in charge of everything.
Right.
Sure.
So we're kind of a few hundred years after that. The Israelite people have been in the area for a while, and things have gotten bad. They've taken a turn.
Yeah.
And there's some interesting historical theories about this because the Israelites being in Egypt are not referenced anywhere outside the Bible.
Okay.
At all. That's interesting because there is historical record of them like terrorizing, like they're 40 years in the desert, like them sacking Jericho and a few other things. So it's
Sure, like a re-rise of, but them being enslaved in Egypt. Also, they definitely didn't build the pyramids.
no, that's a few thousand years off.
Correct. But they may have built some, other cities and
Sure.
anyway. So there was a turn. Historians think if this happened, it was because kind of when the Hyksos took control of the north area of the Delta, close to Canaan, the Egyptians kind of retreated south to like Thebes and then kind of learned how to ride chariots. Learned about armor because that's why they were conquered, and then kind of retake control up above.
So it's like a Rocky like training sequence down in Thebes, and then
So many steps. Yeah. And so that's kind of the start of this, where maybe again, none of this is real, but like really in this case, but they may have had a change in Pharaoh, which is why all of a sudden the Israelites are viewed as like, well, if the people from up north invade again, the Israelites might all like turn on us.
Right.
And there's a ton of them. And so like, let's just really beat them down.
enslave them.
And that kind of kicks off our story today.
Every time the story was
I felt like that was a little necessary to get us into the story part.
Yeah.
Every time the story was told me, I feel like it starts with a new pharaoh came to power.
That's totally in the Bible.
Okay. So like that's like a new Pharaoh came to power and then the Israelites were enslaved.
Chapter 1, verse 8, now there arose a new king over Egypt.
There you go.
Who did not know Joseph.
Did not know Joseph.
Yeah. Well, regime change. They undo everything that the previous person did.
I don't know this, Joseph. So anyway, the Israelites, even though they're enslaved, are apparently pretty prolific. And I guess they have nothing else to do when they're not working, but like pump out babies.
Oh, got it. Actually prolific.
Literally prolific.
I was like, oh, what are they making?
Yeah. Really good, like singer-songwriter stuff. No, they, anyway, they're just pumping out children, and the Egyptian hierarchy is essentially like, listen, if we let this keep going, we're going to have a problem with population where they get too many, so we actually can't control them. And so we're going to do this thing where any newborn baby from this state to this state, we're going to drown in the river.
Oof.
Just the boy babies.
I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. Just boy babies. Just the men.
Okay.
We're going to kill them.
Well,
it's like the opposite of the problem they have in China with the one child rule.
Yeah.
Yes. And Moses' parents, they already have two kids, Aaron and Miriam.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that
So, okay, I'm going to side with you on the Miriam.
I think it's Miriam.
It's not in the Bible.
Really?
At least not in this point. Maybe they come back and he finds his parents, but it's not
parents. Those are his siblings.
Oh.
No. His parents, I remember his dad's name. Don't remember his mom's name.
Aaron and Miriam. I confirmed it right now.
Well, that is, it's not right here, but yes, that is covered later.
But they have two kids.
Yeah.
But his, I don't remember his mom's name, but his dad's name, I remember because it's the same as a missile. It's Amram.
Again, that's from the future. That's not here.
Oh, it's not in there? Well, I don't know when things are. I don't have a Bible in front of me.
Jochebed is the mother, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Jochebed?
I'm assuming because of Yiddish.
No. It literally says a man of the house of Levi went and took a wife as a daughter of Levi, and the woman conceived and bore a son. And since she saw he was a beautiful child, she hit him. Oh, again, all of the heroes in the Bible have to be hot.
Yeah.
So it's like the Israelites may have like gotten free sooner if there'd just been prettier kids running around.
Yeah. I mean, except Paul. Paul so far is the one exception where he's like notably.
Well, he fucked up Christianity, so.
Pomegranate faced.
Yes.
But every other hero, especially in the Old Testament, got to be hot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what mom does is she builds a basket out of reeds.
Basket time.
Basket's themed through the Bible, apparently.
Great.
Builds a small basket that's waterproof, like puts tar in it or whatever.
Pitch and asphalt.
Asphalt?
I know. I think it's tar.
Okay. But like basically makes this waterproof basket that's big enough to hold the baby, but not much else. So like the baby's swaddled, put in the basket, and she goes and basically puts it in the bulrushes where it would be camouflaged with all the other reeds.
I do not know what her intentions were.
I think just to leave it long enough that it would get big enough that they wouldn't come. I don't know.
Well, if it doesn't get fed in an hour, it's gonna die.
Maybe she would like check, like that's it. Just lived
I don't
there.
know. Yeah, I don't totally know her intentions, but it didn't seem like she thought it through really well.
And which is funny is like the way that I believe that it's probably told is that she just basically set it there. In all of the animation, like she sets it in a river and it goes floating away.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Which is, it's like, I love this idea. It's like, I'm not going to let my kid be drowned. I'm just going to let it starve to death somewhere down the Nile.
Sure.
I assume it's the Nile. Probably isn't the Nile.
It doesn't say, but they have one river in Egypt. So
well, they have to have tributaries, right?
Like Ethiopia.
Okay.
At this point in Egypt is the Nile.
It's the Nile. So, regardless of all this, the baby's actually found by the daughter of Pharaoh.
Okay.
And so daughter of Pharaoh, like, hey, free baby.
Was it something about like they didn't really know the Israelite God, so it was maybe like hoping the river god would take care of it? That feels like sort of
You just read the Bible.
Well, that's not in there. I'm talking.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that we were taught as kids that's not directly from the Bible.
That was unusual for you to be asking a question.
Well, again, that's like extra childhood stuff. Like how Adam says that it was swaddled and it was just enough room. Yeah. Like that's all.
Oh, it's totally from like cartoons and storytelling.
Yeah.
It's that's pure like like Bible class people.
That's Adam's movie pitch to me.
Yeah. And all that, like, I also think that like 90% of this too just been like the way that my brain like makes everything
of course
cinematic. I'm probably just adding all these details that don't like. I got shots of the baby going on the river.
Yes.
I can hear the soundtrack.
This is the delightful portion of our show.
Wasn't there one of the like cartoons where there's like alligators like jumping out of the water
Oh, for
and the basket's
sure.
like bouncing
Yes.
around between?
I like babies giggling. Like, like,
yeah,
yes.
that feels so familiar.
Vaguely Egyptian themes are being played on like
Is that just
wind
Not vaguely,
instruments?
like straight up
Yep.
stereotypes.
Is that just the Prince of Egypt?
Could be.
Yeah.
It actually could be. Anyway, baby makes it to Pharaoh's daughter. Pharaoh's daughter goes like, free baby. Awesome.
Sort of. I mean, you're not wrong, but sure. Okay. Yeah, sure. No, Adam's right.
So anyway,
She's like, cool baby.
Yeah, cool baby.
I like that you won that argument without saying a word.
I mean, it's just too much work to like get into all the details, honestly.
So
He's not right, but he's also not wrong.
in a weird twist of fate, I don't remember how they get here, but she basically was like, I need a wet nurse. And somebody goes like, oh, I actually happen to know an Israelite woman who is like breastfeeding right now. You could totally hire her to breastfeed your baby. Gets Moses' actual mom to breastfeed the baby.
That is true, though I
world.
put a question mark by it because it just says, so the maiden went and called the child's mother. It doesn't like clarify past that.
Well, she wrote in like property of Jacobim. And
I'm
Amram.
not the expert.
Anyway, so Moses grows up as a...
Well, there's a fun thing where the princess is like, and I will call him Moses because the Israelite word means drew out of the water.
Oh.
When in reality, Moses in Egyptian just means son. So probably more true.
Right.
Huh.
If any of this were true.
Right. He grows up, and here's a thing that I might be just a Prince of Egypt thing. Is there another child? Like, does he have an older brother or like stepbrother? Adopted brother, I guess.
He's one of like 60. The princess is like one of the like
Concubines.
60 concubines' daughters. Like they don't even know her name. So yeah, he probably had like 200 brothers and sisters.
I think that it's one of the novelizations or like one of the like fictional stories where he has like I think it's Prince of Egypt where he has like they set up a dual thing where it's Moses and his older brother and they're like super close in the beginning and then they become like arch enemies in the end, which I don't think that's actually in the Bible.
No, not even a little bit. Yeah. This is like, it's like 3 chapters and he's out of there. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, 3 verses and he's out of there.
So he basically grows up in the Pharaoh's house.
Yeah.
The palace, as a Prince of Egypt. And later in life, I don't remember how he discovers, but he finds out that and maybe he was never lied to. Maybe they told you were an Israelite kid.
Well, so some of my side reading is the wet nurses they nursed until they were like 3 or 6. They nursed a long time. And so they speculate that he could have been actually taught about Israelite culture and by his mother.
And God. Got it. So he...
Also, I'm sure he looked a little different than like the actual Egyptians.
Probably.
So...
but
he had questions.
He knows in some way that he has a connection with the Israelite nation because as he's I think he's an adult. Yeah, he's an adult.
Yeah.
But like young, like maybe 19, 20. It
says he's grown.
Yeah. So he sees there's an Israelite being beaten by an Egyptian.
Okay.
And he steps in and proceeds to beat the Egyptian to death.
Wow.
In protection of the Israelite guy.
I actually really like it.
His first kill.
Yeah.
The actual Bible passage, chapter 2, verse 12. So he looked this way and that way. And when he saw no one, he killed the Egyptian.
No fucking
wow. Sand. Yeah.
He looked this way.
You can hear like the Scooby-Doo noises.
Yeah.
Fuck, fuck, fuck.
That's some like decent writing for the Bible.
This is not bad. Exodus. I mean, he's writing it about himself.
That's true.
So,
well, we think. You think he schlepped like piles of manuscripts?
He remembers all of the directions that he looked and when.
Yeah.
So yeah, he kills this guy. And then does he even get accused or he just bails before
but then he kills again.
Oh.
So, okay.
I don't remember the second kill.
It's then 2 Hebrew men were fighting. And
that's right. And he's like, "Are you going to kill me like you did the Egyptian?"
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. He doesn't kill again.
But he gets accused. Like it's
correct.
clear they know.
Correct.
That's right. Sorry, 2 Israelite men are fighting together, and he breaks them up. It's like, "Why are you fighting, brothers?" And they're like, "Were you going to kill me like you did the Egyptian?" And he's like, "Oh shit."
Cat's out of the bag.
Right.
And then it said, when the Pharaoh heard of this matter, he sought to kill Moses.
So Moses is like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And so he bails and just like runs. And
To Midian.
Midian.
And I did not look up how far that is. We'll fill you in after the break.
Cool.
But I assume pretty far.
it's at least halfway to somewhere.
Just thank you. That's like a Eagles lyric.
I was just going to say, totally an Eagles lyric.
Sounds like, yeah. But so he
to Midian.
Midian, wherever that is. And he eventually settles.
Midian does seem like it could mean halfway.
Right? That's why the joke I was trying to make was like, it felt like
All right,
it was in the middle of something.
I'm just going to explain the joke over here.
Cool. Let's see.
You see, Midian.
Midian is similar to
middle,
It's median.
Yeah. Welcome to the King James Version, where we explain the jokes.
Yeah, this podcast has gone downhill.
I can't remember the guy's name that he hangs out with.
That he hangs out with.
Well, I'm trying. His father-in-law. I can't remember his father-in-law's name.
Oh, it doesn't say
Doesn't
it
matter?
for a while. Hold on.
I've got like Laban and Potiphar, and obviously those are from different stories.
So it's Jethro.
Jethro Tull.
Well, it's funny. It actually talks about how he marries this guy's daughter, and then like 12 verses later actually says his name. Which is kind of interesting. It said the woman's name before the dude's name. That's kind of a first for the Bible.
Wait, what's his wife's name?
Zipporah?
Oh, right, Zipporah.
Zipporah.
But Zipporah is like named after it, right?
You mean Sephora?
Yeah, this seems like a stretch.
Sephora.
Yeah.
No. The makeup company is actually named after Sephora.
Sephora is named after
Zipporah.
Zipporah.
Yes.
Huh.
Okay, Adam. Cool.
We'll confirm that after the break, but I'm 90% sure that like that connection's made.
I mean, I hope you're right, but it sounds so far-fetched.
Right?
So he gets to Midian. He sits by a well. Some women come to fill up their water jugs, and he's just sitting there.
Just
then
puppy dog follows in the back.
Well, no. Then some shepherds like kicked all the women away from the well.
Oh, and he beats the shit out of and
well,
like,
Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock, and then they get home early, and their dad's like,
"Why are you home?
How the hell you get here so early?"
Right.
And they said, "This Egyptian man helped us," and the dad says, "Well, bring him to dinner, and you can have one of my daughters."
Oh, wow.
And he knocks her up and names his son Gershom.
Another great name.
Just not good.
So essentially, Moses becomes the father or the son-in-law who is becoming he's going to take over the family business.
Sure.
And so he's just, I'm assuming sheep's got to be the business.
It says flock a lot.
If it's not sheep, it's goats.
Yeah, you're herding them, you're watering them, you're petting them.
In all this thing, eventually he's like, he gets to be like 40.
What, Nick?
What?
Okay.
Oh, damn it. I missed it. Shit.
Don't worry about it.
So he, in all of these like wanderings around, eventually is one time he's out pretty far away, I think. Does it specify? Probably doesn't specify. Doesn't matter. He's out and
he's in the desert and
he comes around the corner.
Horeb, the mountain of God.
Comes to Horeb.
Does that help?
God. And on Horeb, around a corner, he suddenly finds a bush is on fire, but not burning.
Oh, okay.
So it's on like it's like there's flames shooting off of it, but it's not like
it was always like in like the illustrations or cartoons or whatever. It was always like a sagebrushy looking thing too, like a tumbleweed.
Yeah, it was always a tumbleweed.
It looked like tumbleweed.
Yeah, but just anyway. So it's on fire, and he's like, "Well, this is weird," and approaches it, and a voice just kind of booms like,
"Hold on, there's a good line first.
Okay.
Another just winner that again he wrote about himself.
Yeah,
maybe, but probably not." The bush was burning with fire, but the bush was not consumed. Then Moses said, "I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush does not burn."
It's like perfect for a one-man show.
Yes. I will turn aside. And then there's some guy's like in the back, like, "Yeah, no shit, you'll turn aside." Anyway, so he gets approaches.
Show me, don't tell me.
Right.
Well, it's like
right.
There's this amazing thing happening, just to the side of the stage, and he's like, I think I'll check that out.
Yeah, right.
It's that.
So he gets close to it, and a voice kind of booms and is like, "Moses, take off your sandals. You're on holy ground." Is that right?
Well, there's a bit of like Moses, here I am first. But then,
God is such a prima donna.
Moses.
Oh my God.
Moses.
Well, you just buckle up for the next chapter and a half then.
So he takes off his sandals and he approaches the burning bush. And then there's a conversation where essentially I'm going to like fast through it and you can.
Let's let you go all the way through it, and then I'll.
But essentially, it's like, Moses, I need you to go back and free my people, the Israelites. You're from there. You know these people. You've been shirking your duties. Go back.
Okay.
That's the gist of what happens.
Okay, so
I know that there's more shit in there because doesn't God try to kill him at one point?
Okay, there's a weird side verse about that, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
So God says, I'm the God of your father, the God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob. He says that several times.
Not Joseph, though.
Yeah, not Joseph.
No one remembers
Interesting.
Joseph. It's a little shit.
He said, I will send you to Pharaoh that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. But then there's a lot of like Moses being like, well,
I don't want to go.
Yeah, who am I? Like, I'm bad at talk good.
Oh, right. That's right. Because it's right.
Times.
He's like really bad at talking because eventually, his main argument is like, I'm not good at talking.
Sure.
Yeah. And then they're like, well, if I go and tell him that God sent me, they're going to be like, well, what's his name? And God's like, I am who I am. All caps.
Nice. All caps.
Yep.
Nice.
2 eggplants. I don't know. That's not actually funny.
Actually, I do think it's funny. Like I didn't expect it. It's like I am who I am. Eggplant.
I mean, you know. And then God says,
that's
like,
a t-shirt.
I will stretch out my hand, strike Egypt with all my wonders. He will let you go. Blah blah blah. Then there's this
foreshadowing.
Then there's this weird thing which I didn't remember. I should also side note. Up until this point, I've just when a verse is important, I just kind of scribble at it with a red pencil.
Yeah.
For today, I got a ruler and I did like the nice pencil underline.
Oh, your memory verses are going to be so good.
I know. It makes sense to Adam, Nick. Trust me.
Great.
This is the thing.
So, okay, this is a weird thing that I didn't remember.
Okay. I'm glad that some of this horse shit makes sense to somebody.
Makes sense is a strong. I remember it being.
It resonates in a weird culty way.
Sure.
Yes.
But every woman shall ask her neighbor, namely, of her who dwells near her house, articles of silver, articles of gold, and clothing, and you shall put them on your sons and on your daughters. So you shall plunder the Egyptians.
All right.
I
Prosperity
just
message, man.
That. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't remember any plunder.
No, I don't remember that either.
Okay, now we're to the staff.
Oh.
Awesome. Oh, fuck. I forgot about the staff.
Oh, I guess I'll let Adam take that. Oh! So, okay, Nick. So there's like 4 chapters of God giving Moses a pep talk, being like,
"Yeah,
no,
you can do it.
You got this." Okay, what if I give you this magic trick to like woo them with?
So the magic trick is he's like, "Take your staff, throw it to the ground." Moses turns into a snake. Ah! And
I thought there might be snakes in this.
And God's like, "Grab the snake by the tail." And Moses is like, "Are you fucking kidding me? That's gonna bite me." He's like, "Grab the snake by its tail." He does. Turns back into the staff.
Okay.
Then God goes like, put your hand inside your tunic
to your bosom.
Put to your bosom. Take it back out. And he's like, "Oh my God, I've got leprosy." Leprosy?
It's white as snow.
White as
leprosy.
snow. And he's like, "Put it back." So he puts it back, pulls it out. Perfect hand. and Moses is like, "I can go on tour with this. I'm good.
Well,
send me to Egypt."
Actually, Moses is like, "That's awesome, but I'm still a bit nervous.
I will kill at cocktail parties."
And so God also says, all right, if you take a pitcher of water from the river and pour it on the ground, it'll be blood. And Moses is like,
again, foreshadowing.
All right. but then it actually goes into the I don't talk so good part.
Okay.
Which at this point,
the Porky Pig section.
Doesn't God say, well, then just take your damn brother because he actually does speak good?
Correct. And then
Aaron speaks well.
Okay.
And then there's another weird verse. Sorry, there's these like just side ones. So he's done talking to God. He comes back. I think he's like pretty confident. He's going to find his brother. They're going to go back to Egypt, kick some ass, let my people go, all that stuff.
He's going to show everybody the hand thing.
And the snake thing.
And he tells his wife, and I don't actually understand what this means.
Excellent.
He tells his wife this, and it says, then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at Moses' feet and said, surely you are a husband of blood to me. I'm like,
she's circumcised him with a rock.
I was like, is that good?
Right. Yeah. Is that a threat or like a hooray?
I honestly, because it just goes on.
Yeah. Someone needs to circle back on that. Cause if you're an
scholar, tweet at us.
Yeah, because if you're so angry with your spouse that you got to cut off the tip of your child's penis
and then throw it at them,
that is either like a fuck you or a hurrah. But
Either way, the son loses.
All right. So Nick, to recap.
Maybe there's no explanation because Moses is writing this and he's like, I still don't get it, guys.
I saw this happen. It was weird.
This happened.
I'm going to put it in here.
I left.
Yeah.
There was blood, so it probably needs to be in here, but
It means something.
So he threw them all on donkeys. And
He goes right back out to the bush and is like, God, did you see that? Was that one of your things?
Into it. Do it to everybody.
So he threw them all on donkeys and they're headed back to Egypt.
Okay, great.
And that's where we end today.
Well, hold on. No, but there's a thing before he gets that where doesn't God try to kill him?
Yes, but I didn't underline it, so I have to find it.
All right.
Well, let's take a quick break and we'll gather ourselves. We'll get you the information that you desire, Adam.
Thank you.
We'll be right back here on the King James Virgin. And we're back here on the King James Virgin.
And I'm Adam.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm really glad that you got a chance to do that.
Alan brought tall boys, and I feel like it's 6.7. No wonder it's a tall boy, and I'm feeling this one a little bit.
Oh, weird.
Anyway. What are we doing?
Oh boy.
No, hold on. Shit. Oh, Zipporah.
You're proving to us that you were
vindicated. Right. That's the same fucking thing. Sephora, the cosmetic store, is named after the Greek pronunciation of Zipporah, Moses' wife.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
I don't know.
I just wanted to make you say that.
Because Jesus.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
Do you think it's a religious company then?
It's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut.
It was a 1960s French company, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
They started. So I don't know. Maybe
that's how they get you, though. Those Christian bands and stuff. You don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing's worse than a coffee shop. And you're like, man, this is a good coffee shop. And then you're like, is that jars of clay?
Yeah, sure.
The entire time, though, you're like, are you a really nice barista or are you trying to convert me?
What does common grounds mean?
There's one in Vancouver, Washington that I used to go to a lot. And I still don't know if it is or not. It's got that vibe.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say anything anywhere.
Sure, yeah.
No, if it is, it's some like long-term plans for conversion.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
You were going to have Nick...
Oh, well, so first, where God was trying to kill Moses.
Right.
Yeah, there's just like one like throwaway verse where God and Moses stopped talking and Moses had his back to his encampment and the Lord met him and sought to kill him. But it doesn't explain anything because the next verse is Zipporah like taking a rock to the penis and cutting off, circumcising. Like, I don't...
Maybe that's what it was. Like, God's like, I don't think you're really into this. And so she was like, I'm going to circumcise as proof of our, like...
I do not know. It does not explain anything.
Because doesn't...
Not in the footnotes or anything? Wild.
Alan, do you remember, like, circumcision is introduced by Moses, right? Like, that's a thing.
Okay. So I'm pretty good at reading the footnotes, but I hadn't here.
Excellent.
And literally, I just looked down and it says, this is a difficult passage.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Filled with obscurities. Apparently, Moses neglected to circumcise his son.
Whoops.
Okay.
I thought Moses was the one who introduced circumcision in, like, the desert.
Well, apparently,
that was like 40 years later before they...
Right, but, like, weigh the deuce down there. So, like, he neglected to do it because he didn't fucking know about it. Whatever.
Okay, hold on. Whatever, fuck it. I don't care.
Okay.
We don't really need to, like, deep dive into, like...
Penis clippings?
Yes. Let's see what else. Midian is just on the other side of the Red Sea. So
yeah, like on the Arabian Peninsula.
But it's a bit of a hike.
Yeah, no, it took him a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say those, like in that one verse he went 100 miles.
It's like Simba in The Lion King when he's like across the desert and Timon and Pumbaa find him. Did it. Brought everything back to a Disney film. This podcast can now be released.
Huh. Okay.
Do you think Nick
this is no like Jonah like hiking through all of Syria in one verse.
No.
But it's still a long way.
I want to see, like, this seemed a little scatterbrained. Is that right, Nick? You felt like we bounced around a bit?
Yeah, a bit.
Can you piece together, like, the high points of what
Probably
happened?
not. I'm over here looking at Moses Malone's stats on the Houston Rockets. So. It's probably not even worth it.
No, I want to see you do
it. Yeah.
Okay, so he's born, he's given up, he's put in some reeds, probably drifts down a river, maybe with alligators, is found, becomes an honorary Egyptian, breastfeeds for questionable amount of time.
Yep.
Then kills somebody and
An Egyptian.
Breaks up a fight. They find out that he's the guy that killed him. Then he runs away a very far distance. Has to take off his sandals for God in front of a burning bush. Gets a bunch of sweet gear.
We got married first, but yes.
Well, yeah, that's boring.
Yeah.
We could have done without that. And then he has his child's foreskin thrown at him and he's about to go kick some ass.
You forgot about the magic.
I mean, you did a really good job.
I forgot about magic, though. Magic snake, magic hand.
I said he got a bunch of cool shit.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Solid.
I'm really excited. Is he going to show people the white hand?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right.
Oh, there's so much
He
more.
pulls out like the best. My favorite thing, like, there's a little bit of foreshadowing there. So like my best thing is like he starts with the 2 tricks and it feels like, as a kid, I remember feeling like this is just as cheap as Moses was afraid it would sound. Like, I don't know, like, you know, like in all of the cartoons of it, it felt like when he does the tricks for Pharaoh, he's like it, the way that they animate it even felt like Moses knew that this was not going to work.
Uh-huh.
So next week is our magic week.
Okay, cool.
A lot of shit goes down.
Halloween.
It is Halloweeny. I mean, we're definitely playing the final countdown through the entire episode.
Yeah.
Getting sued several times.
Yeah, because Europe is paying attention to this podcast.
It's a good one. And Nick, this may have been a confusing episode, but this is, I would say, maybe the second most important character in the entire Bible.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and because there's so much, like several things sounded familiar to me, you know, wasn't like Balaam or whatever. I was like, what the fuck?
Have you seen the like 1996-ish movie, The Prince of Egypt?
Nope.
Starring Val Kilmer, I believe.
Correct.
I also haven't seen the, who is it? Charlton Heston?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And the Ten
Haven't seen
Commandments.
The Ten Commandments.
Let my people go.
it. Yeah, no.
It's that, and you know,
Men don't kill people. Apes kill people.
guns don't kill people, apes kill people. That's what it is.
Wait, what?
Planet of the Apes.
Right.
That's a good film.
Remake with Mike Wahlberg.
I think
Not a good
that
film.
has to do it for us
Oh,
here
please,
this week.
Please let it do it.
Adam?
I got nothing. I'm just babbling over here about like Tim Burton's
No, you
Planet of
do the
Apes.
thing. I'm saying that's it for us this week.
Oh, right. So thank you so much for listening. You can follow us at KJVPod on both Twitter and Instagram to keep up with what we're doing. This week, pause the episode and text a friend about the podcast right now. Go ahead. We'll wait. You did it? Cool. All right. Thanks to Mascaras and Resurrection Records for the use of our theme song Kixari off the album El Moren. This week's Resurrection Records artist is Slocks. So be sure to hang out for that at the end here. You can find this song and stickers and bios and all sorts of shit on our website, kingjamesvirgin.com.
Until next week, shop with our sponsors, Sephora. They've got some fantastic blush, makeup, toenail clippers, foreskins. Hit them up and they'll give us another fat check. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
I by Sonic Bazaar.